This question comes from Sophia, who asks, what if a tsunami swallowed every continent on Earth? To even begin imagining this scenario, we need to consider the scale of water involved, the speed and energy of a global tsunami, and the devastating consequences for life, infrastructure, and the planet itself. Tsunamis are usually localized phenomena triggered by earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic eruptions. But imagining one so massive that it engulfs entire continents requires thinking on a truly planetary scale. Let's start with the sheer force of the water. A typical tsunami moves at hundreds of kilometers per hour and can reach tens of meters in height, near coastlines. Now, imagine a wave or series of waves so large that they cover all land masses simultaneously. Cities, forests, mountains, and deserts alike would be submerged under immense, fast-moving water. Buildings, roads, and bridges would be obliterated in an instant, leaving little trace of human civilization. The energy required to lift and displace enough water to cover continents is almost incomprehensible. To move billions of cubic kilometers of water at such speed would require a tectonic or extraterrestrial scale event. The impact would trigger earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions as the planet's crust struggles under the redistributed mass of water. Coastal regions would be hit first, but the waves would spread across every inland river valley and lowland area, drowning entire ecosystems. The oceans themselves would behave in unexpected ways. Water from deep basins would be forced upward, while shallow areas would be scoured by immense currents. Marine life would be caught in the turbulence, with surface-dwelling species carried inland and deep-sea creatures forced into chaotic waters. The salt content and temperature gradients of the oceans would be disrupted, affecting ocean currents and the global climate for years. Airborne debris would create a global storm of destruction. Trees, vehicles, and buildings would be swept into the waves, turning the tsunami into a slurry of destruction capable of tearing through even distant inland areas. Waterborne pathogens, chemicals, and pollutants would spread rapidly, contaminating any remaining water supplies and making survival extremely difficult for any human or animal left alive. The human response would be nearly impossible. Early warning systems might detect the initial waves, but with a tsunami of this magnitude, evacuation would be futile. Millions, if not billions, of people would be swept away before shelters could even be reached. Surviving underground or in specially designed bunkers might be possible for a few, but long-term survival would face challenges such as contaminated water, food shortages, and unstable infrastructure. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes triggered by the sudden redistribution of water would compound the destruction. Entire mountain ranges could experience landslides, and subterranean magma chambers could be destabilized. In addition, the added weight of water on continental plates might cause the crust to bend or fracture, creating new fault lines and triggering additional geological disasters. From space, Earth would appear as a vast, churning planet of water. Land masses would be invisible beneath the relentless waves, and storm clouds would circle the globe as a result of the sudden release of energy and moisture. The scale of destruction would be visible even to satellites, with tsunamis moving inland thousands of kilometers, rivers reversing, and oceans boiling in turbulent eddies. Long-term consequences would be just as dire. Once the initial wave subsided, the global environment would be permanently altered. Coastal ecosystems would be destroyed, inland soil would be waterlogged or stripped away, and the climate would be disrupted by changes in ocean currents, temperatures, and atmospheric moisture. Any surviving humans or animals would need to adapt to a drastically transformed world, where once thriving cities and forests no longer exist. Ultimately, if a tsunami swallowed every continent, the Earth would be transformed beyond recognition. Human civilization would likely collapse entirely, ecosystems would be devastated, and the planet's geography would be reshaped. Centuries later, geologists would study the sediment layers and deep water deposits as evidence of one of the most extreme hydrological catastrophes imaginable. A global event that demonstrated the raw power of water on an unimaginable scale.